So today we're going to look a little bit at Overture to William Tell, the easy violin part, and we're going to look at a few small sections and then hopefully maybe even do a run through of some of the sections if we have time. So we're actually not going to start at the beginning because I think the beginning is probably the most challenging part of this piece. We're going to start instead at measure B, rehearsal measure B. So rehearsal measure B starts on the open G string, okay? And this is the rhythm that we play at measure G, or at measure B, okay? Just listen one. So that's the rhythm we have at measure B. It's pretty easy to follow because you see the measures that only have two notes in the measure, bum, bum, or the notes that have three notes in the measure, bum, 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 bum. Okay, so if there's two notes, bum, breath. If there's three notes, it's bum, bum, bum. So easy enough. That's the rhythms that we have in this section. Now you'll notice at the very end of that section, measure B, before measure C, you have a first and a second ending. Remember, the first time you play measure B, you go to the first ending. Then you repeat and go back to measure B, okay? But when you're done the second time, you go to the second ending. So I'm going to see if you can see the music on my stand. You might not be able to, okay? But we're going to go from measure B, okay? Then we're going to play. Then when we get to the first ending here, where it says a little one, we're going to go back to the beginning, B, we're back to measure B where the repeat sign is. Then we're going to play this again. And then the second time, we're actually going to skip this first ending, and we're going to jump to the second ending. Okay, and then we're going to go on. Okay, so that's what that first and second ending means. All right, so we're going to try measure B. This time, we're going to play it together. Okay, so let's get ready. Bow resting on the open G string. Okay, you ready? Bow resting on the open G string. I'm going to give you one measure of introduction. Ready, play. G string. D string. Good, and do you remember where we go back now? That's right, we go back to measure B, So this time, can we do measure B the second time? So this time we're going to practice going to the second end. Measure B again. This time we'll try playing really quiet, which is what the composer wanted. They put a pianissimo or two P's there, which means really, really quiet, okay? But be aware, later it gets louder. Let's try it really quiet. Ready, now loud to the D string. Now, if you were really looking carefully at your piece, you probably would have noticed that the first and the second endings are exactly the same. So really, they probably could have just put a repeat sign and it would have been less confusing. But they didn't. I think either they were trying to teach you something or they were just trying to confuse you. I don't know. Probably not, because Miss Dacko is really, really great. She probably wasn't trying to confuse you. But just make sure you go from the first ending first, then back to B, then second ending, then back. Then you continue on. Okay? This time we're going to try measure B, and we're going to do the whole thing. We're going to go B, first ending, repeat, go back to B, then play it all again, and go to the second ending. Okay? See if you can play along with me. This time we'll give you two measures of introduction. I think that would be a little bit easier. Bow resting on the open G string. 1 and 2 and ready, go. And D string. Back to G string. To the D string. D string again. Repeat, G. D string to to the second ending. And freeze there. So, hopefully you were able to get that. If you made a mistake, that's okay. Just rewind a little bit and try it again with me. But if you got it, we can move on. We're going to start now try measure C. Measure C, the next section. You'll notice that measure C looks like it has pretty similar rhythms to what we just worked on in measure B. Okay? So measure C is play, 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 play. So the only fingers you have to worry about for measure C for that whole section from C to D is first finger and second finger. That's it. Okay? We start in measure C with first finger on the D string. The name of that note is E. Okay? Then we go to second finger on the G string. Okay? The name of that note is B. And then at the very, very end of that section, we go to first finger on the A string. Okay? So let's just find those notes first. So first at measure C, can you play with me first finger on the D string E? Go ahead and play. First finger on the D string. Good. Then next, can we try the next note, which is in measure 26, the next new note. Second finger on the G string. That's B. Ready, try it. Sorry, mine was a little high. This is it. Good. And then the last new note in this section is first finger on the G string, and the name of that note is A. Okay, so just play that with me. Ready, play. Nice. Okay, so measure C. Let's try this together. Do your best, okay? Do your best. We're going to go through it once or twice at least. Okay, so we're starting with first finger on the D string. Make sure your first finger's on the D string, just like mine. Okay, bow on the string. 2 measures of introduction. 1 and 2 and ready, play, and. 2 on G. 1 on D. 1 on G. Good. So hopefully you've noticed that there's a pattern. We start first finger on the D string, and then when we go to the G string, we have this pattern. 2 and 1 and 2. So that pattern is 2 and 1 and 2 for 8th notes, okay? Then the next time we go to the G string, we use our first finger, but the pattern is exactly the same rhythmically. 2 and 1 and 2. Pattern's the same. All right, so we're going to try for measure C one more time. Don't worry, I'll give you clues again. Okay, measure C. 3 and 4 and. G string. We're going to try measure C just one more time, okay? We're going to do a little bit slower this time, and I'll give you more clues. That time I didn't do a very good job of helping you with clues. Okay, last time, measure C. First finger on the D string, E. Make sure you're ready. Okay, 1 and 2 and ready, go, and. 2 on G. 1 on D. 1 on G. Nice, awesome. Now looking on to measure D all the way to measure E. What do you notice about what's similar between measure C to D and measure D to E? Do you notice anything about what's similar or different between measure C to D and measure D to E? They're very, very similar. They're almost exactly the same. So if you got measure C, you got measure D. Okay, I'll play measure D for you so you can hear how similar they really are. Okay, here's measure D. First finger on the D string to start. Ready, listen. 2 on G. 1 1 on D. 1 on G. Only difference is that the end little section's a little bit shorter. They have you play 3 notes instead of 5. That's it. Okay, so let's try measure D together. We're going to play all the way from measure D to measure E. Okay? Measure D to measure E. Okay, so we're going to start with first finger on the D string. The name of that note is E. Okay. All right. Bow on the string. Measure D. Measure D. Nice and slow. 1 and 2 and ready, play, and. G string. 1 on D. 1 on G. Nice job. So it looks like now you're able to go all the way from B all the way to measure E. So I thought, this is a kind of long video, so at the end of the video, I thought it might be fun for our last activity for you to play with me together all the way from B to measure E, to see if you can play that kind of a big section. So the big thing to remember is that, measure B has a repeat in there. So make sure you're looking ahead for the repeat and knowing when to go back, okay? Just so you know, at the end of the day, so a bell might ring, don't let it distract you, okay? Hopefully it won't, just don't let it distract you, okay? So measure B. Starting on an open G, okay? All right, make sure that you're ready to do that repeat that's coming, okay? This time we're gonna go on. Measure B. 1 and 2 and ready, play, and. G string. D string. D string again. Repeat B. D string. G string. D. Second ending. Measure C. First finger. First finger. 1 on G. Measure D. 2 on G. 1 on D. 1 on G. How'd you do? If you got even most of those notes, that's awesome. It's really hard to play with a recording and an invisible person who's not really with you. So if you're able to get most of those notes, good for you. If you weren't sure, or if you wish you could have done a little bit better, all you got to do is rewind the video and try again. All right, so that was measure B all the way to measure E of William Tell. Next time, I'll go all the way from F maybe to measure J, or maybe even measure K or L, okay? But if you look ahead at those measures, they're actually really similar. They're really similar. So if you have measure B, you probably have that too, but I'll be happy to make a video. There's the bell. All right, so I hope you enjoyed, and please, happy practicing.